Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, ImperialDane, featuring today a 1 vs 1 in the darkness of Semois. We shall be watching that dashing fellow ImperialDane taking on the fight for today. Fighting for the Panzer Lehr, opposing him shall be a hiccup. No, not a hiccup. InRussianoobpwnsyou. Some smurf, so sadly I do not possess any more details on that matter, I fear. Though he does seem to be going for a pretty engineer-heavy start already here. Could it be 3? Could it be 4? We shall see. But going for the 2 pioneer start over here. Vettel's going to score on the way. And he's going for the 4 engineer start, so he's home to seize a lot of territory. Initially, of course, sort of make good on that afterwards, possibly with more mines, flamethrowers, possibly even rushing for something. Of course, will be the sort of thing to find out. Fuel point being secured. Fult's going to score almost ready, but again, he's already largely securing this entire row. Fuel and munitions. Well, I certainly have far from that. And there we go. The barracks goes up. The first infantry squad moves out in the name of the fatherland. Nice. And of course this is a pre-recorded episode, or at least the day before, due to university and all that, so I won't be able to sort of initially in this cast at least react to sort of what comes out of Eurogamer. If we do indeed get anything out of Eurogamer on the first day, that of course shall be the trick to sort of find out. Will there be anything? Gentle viewers. Engineers continue rather swiftly up the east. West they also make good progress. The barracks is up, probably some riflemen on the way.
Old squad here.
Second unit, the Schwimmwagen, to sort of initially quickly support my Volksgrenadiers. Of course, also provide some light reconnaissance in the matter of dealing with the Yankees. And there we go, catching a few engineers and opening up on them. Trying, in fact, to hunt them down. Schwimmwagen quickly rolling in. And of course, at this stage already, I'll just briefly pause because there's time for it. I'd in fact seen there was something here, and there, so I'm already there. I certainly knew what was going on. I was seeing a 4 engineer start. Something like that. You might not even be saying, oh, but you're not seeing so many engineers, but even then there's, for example, all the map being taken, all the map being secured. If you suddenly see a lot, and then also all the engineers, you can sort of take, alright, he's going for a lot of engineers, and due to the sort of progression of it, how advanced they are, make their way in, he's probably gone for 4 engineers. So that, of course, is something to keep an eye out on. Schwimmer, of course, trying to do its best. Volksgren is trying to keep the engineers at bay. Small engagement over here between the pioneers and the engineers. And the other engineers continue to move up till they continue their work. Second Volksgren squad not quite on the way. And there we go, engineers finding themselves faced with pioneers and the Schwimmwagen, the almighty. At the same time, one pioneer drops down right there. A bit unfortunate. Engineers going down. Volksgren going for that cut-off point. And the rest are sort of moving in there, joining up with the rifleman squad. Volksgren squad's on the way as well. So far, a bit dies. And of course, the question, of course, what should I worry about then when I face a 4 engineer start? Probably some sort of rush either towards armored cars, perhaps some grenades or BARs. There's certainly a few things that, of course, you take note of. It rather depends on the player what they sort of favor. Of course, at the same time, I do feel a swift necessity to actually mine this area, just in case someone might be rushing for this fuel plant. Of course, in that case, having a mine right there could certainly prove to be beneficial. Second Volksgren squad is ready. The riflemen sort of slinkering about in the cemetery. Engineers moving up. Mine going down a bit slowly again. Note, a half pioneer squad or 1 engineer will certainly be laying down mines slower than a full unit. And there we go. Volksgren and riflemen getting into small engagement. The Schwimmwagen pushes in, trying to do a bit of damage. And there we go, already 1 rifleman down. Second squad moving in. Another squad of riflemen also arriving. There we go, the Schwimmwagen flanking the riflemen, opening up with lots of light machine gun fire. The riflemen quickly pulling up away. Rifleman moving in from the other angle. And of course, what is he? He in fact might be trying to go for my cut-off point. And there we go, the Minus Storm, Pioneer pulling back. MG42 on the way, and there we go, going for the point, but at the same time, note his troops are a bit wounded. It could, I mean, it's a risky move. His troops are certainly a bit on the lower end, and now he's also, in fact, trying to wire off this area so he can't move troops from here to there. Really bold, but at the same time, note, the Schwimmwagen is actually doing a lot of damage combined with the Volksgrenadiers. And again, do not underestimate the Schwimmwagen. It's somewhat close to an LMG, although slightly less accurate at short range, but still, I mean, well handled. And there we go, he just lost a rifle squad and an engineer squad. So again, something to note. Remember, and of course, perhaps, you know, take advantage of. And there we go. Engineers hit the mine, down to one man with a sliver of health. The pioneers quickly counterattack, and I need to remember to reconnect this. But at the same time, laying down a mine here, so again, he will get a bit of a surprise. We love surprises, don't we, Jürgen? Ja, mein Hauptsturmführer, or something like that. But there we go. Fuel point is safe. MG42 moving in. Volksgrenadier Schwimmwagen moving in from the south. Volksgrenadiers have apparently forgotten they were supposed to take that point. Third squad ready. Again, it's the sort of initial build order. Preferred concern is augmented depending on what happens. But it's generally what I feel is nice because, I mean, it can allow me to fight rifle within a certain extent. And of course, at the same time, it doesn't, in terms of resources, leave me so overextended that I'm completely unprepared for an armoured car. So that's something to remember. We are seeing the supply up, and he's probably going to be rushing for some sort of armoured business. Rather than they're forced away with heavy casualties, partners being secured, MG42 swiftly relocating. In fact, moving forward to sort of re-secure a lot of territory as much as possible. We are seeing a flamethrower squad moving in there. InRussianoobpwnsyou. Ever lovely against some Smurf. No idea about his real rank, but I faced him again today, so I imagine he's of some skill. But that's all I know, really. I have no idea who this fellow is. Not even when I asked him, which I suppose is a bit rude. Point here could be secure, but apparently again I seem to have forgotten. Silly Dane. But there we go. Kriegberg's up. I need to get some pioneers back swiftly, and sadly I hear I'm slightly making a mistake. I'm not, in fact. He's already got his motor pool up, so still a bit of a rush, but yeah, that is a rush. And I might be caught in a most unfriendly way. I note I'm actually laying down some sandbags here. Probably my Schwimmwagen noticed he was actually shifting back forces towards there, which is why I'm probably moving in my MG42 here instead of a bit over here as well. I mean, again, the Schwimmwagen really can provide some nice reconnaissance and, of course, allow you to much better react to what the opponent is doing. There we go, though, charging in. Flamethrowers versus troops in heavy cover. They're starting to get a bonus, but there we go. The MG42 is up, and there we go, immediately suppressed. One flies far away. In fact, the 4 riflemen were lost in that charge. And all I lost was, well, Heinrich, I suppose what you call him. Engineer squad here, stop him now. He's actually using all of his munitions. Ein Gott Terror, inspired assault. Let's just shoot as many bullets away. See if I can't get some good kills on the retreat. And there we go. More riflemen suffering, and he's in fact suffering greatly. And there still doesn't seem to be much going on here in the motor pool. Ooh, bit of a shame, bit of a shame. Already re-securing a lot of the territory, but the Kriegbergs is up. And certainly the losses he's suffering might, of course, be sort of what's keeping him at bay from getting an armoured car right away, because he's paying a lot of manpower to reinforce all of this. I mean, he's already lost 1 rifle squad and engineer squad, and he's not getting more. So all that means increased pressure on the rest of his forces, which, of course, also means, you know, having to pay more for reinforcement on those poor chaps. But holding up here, a bit of barbed wire here could work. Would be a nice manoeuvre. And note, there's actually a bit of barbed wire here. In fact, not a bad idea, no, but wired off this area so some sneaky Kraut bastard couldn't just sneak in and secure it. In fact, I have to go a pretty long route, which of course will also make our retreat more hazardous, because again I could risk retreating through here and right as he's attacking, of course, losing whatever unit I've sent in. And this is a bit of a novelty. We're actually seeing the T-17 armoured car. It was an American-made armoured car, but largely it was used by the British. The Americans sort of feel, let's stick with the Greyhound, and then they sort of advanced up to the, with the Stuart, and of course advanced onwards to the Chaffee. But there we go, a bit of barbed wire to sort of cover the flank there, and there I go. I rather realise, oh dear, there is a pack on the way, the Panzer Abwehrkanone, 38. Volksgrenadiers getting rushed just as they secure the munitions. In fact, I've now gained map control. Largely, the majority at least.
Attention. The enemy advances.
MG retreating, Volksgrenadiers rather discovering they're caught on the wrong side of things. There's a growling T-17 moving in, firing waves with a T-37mm gun. The advantage of this, if the, of course some players will throw their snow, but is that you actually don't spend the munition track to sort of have it tougher. I mean, it has more health than the Greyhound originally, and with veterans one, it gets about the same health. The difference is it doesn't quite have the same amount of mat kill power. So it's more something about, you know, saving munitions, but also it's something that works more nicely with tanks because it gets stunned. Another Panzerfaust goes off. I know my pack won't be arriving anyway, so if I can get at least off one good shot, I might be home somewhat safely. Troops of the Panzer Lehr, though, are getting blasted. That Greyhound proving to be quite the nuisance. Well, the T-17, what? Also note here is actually mine this area because again I figure he's also going to have to take that route, in which case this is going to be the best spot to head in. T-17 rolls in. Going in for the Pioneers. Ach du Lieber. Some Grenadiers ready as well. I'm actually flooding a bit of manpower there. Might be an idea to use that, silly Dane. And now here's me being a bit clever. I'm actually trying to lure him into the mine. And then I sort of decide, oh wait, let's just retreat. And there we go. I actually get the T-17 using a mine and some Panzerfausts. So that was definitely a small advantage. And he's actually mined down there. How my Pioneers managed to dodge that is me. We're turning into, well, going over to Russia in, let's just call him Russia. Seems much easier to keep sort of track of. Grenadiers still moving in, Pioneers retreating. The Grenadiers fighting on one side of the tiny river, the stream even, rather than pulling back. And we are seeing another T-17 coming out, so he's quite happy with this T-17. Mine goes off. Jurgen bites the dust, face first. Schwimmwagen left behind, waiting for repairs. And trying to get those engineers. They're awfully wounded. And note how quickly they're going down, in particular when they're also in negative cover. I mean, always be careful of these things, you know. Negative cover, building stuff is really a bad combination. As you might have noticed, that lost him an engineer squad with a flamethrower. I mean, he got a mine, but you know, some fellow might walk in with a minesweeper and accidentally ruin the whole thing, you know. I mean, you have to be careful. It would be such a waste to see those poor engineers work after they got killed, got wasted by some nasty crap with a minesweeper. I mean, that's just rude. But anyways, we are seeing the pack here, although of course, I mean, also, Usually I'm starting to get another pack just to cover this area because again, otherwise you risk they charge in for a base and you can't do anything. I mean, the thing is, again, here in this point, there's not a lot of maneuverability. It can be a bit, you know, congestion-like areas. So again, having a secondary pack to sort of provide a bit of, you know, anti-tank protection for this area, it's not necessarily a very bad idea. The T-17, though, moving in, trying to get those pesky Grenadiers. Gets one. Moving in, they're advancing. In fact, Minesweeper was clearing out the mines. Lovely. Sehr guten Arbeit, meine Herren. Pack quickly rushing up, and there we go, hitting the T-17 in the rear. Panzerfaust as well. Maxwell used those munitions at the same time. We are seeing the riflemen moving in for the cutoff. Pioneers are in fact repairing that noble Schwimmwagen with 6 kills. Point being secured. Volkskriegs moving in, charging away for the fatherland, trying to get those Americans as well. Grenadiers also following up. The pack moving in, rushing in fact. Granted, the Pack 38 was less prominent in 1944, although it was still in use by units who couldn't really get anything else. But the Pack 40 was rather the primary anti-tank gun. Nice push up there, engineers, still quickly getting stopped by some Volksgrenadiers. In fact, nicely Volksgrenadiers here, although a Grenadier squad could rush in. MG42 stopping, in fact, the engineer prongs of the assault. All the riflemen are still fighting. Engineers are suffering rather badly in this case. And so the riflemen, in fact, rather nastily. And there we go, inspired assault, though a bit too late. I was hoping to sort of get off a good ambush right there, perhaps cut a few more down, and perhaps even wipe out the squad as it retreated. I mean, that's one of the primary reasons why, for example, I sometimes use inspired assault in the hopes that, yes, now I can kill a retreating squad. Again, that's rather what I like to do. Because, again, as the Wehrmacht, it does require a bit more effort to sort of really get an American squad on the retreat. Whereas, again, with the Wehrmacht's lower numbers, you can more often lose a squad completely, which, again, is also why I usually recommend getting a medic bunker 2, because, again, there's a much more higher chance you just entirely end up losing a squad because of something. With the Americans, again, the largest squads, which also means, in fact, a larger spread on it, they're not so likely to get completely wiped out by anything. Another pack moving in, though. T-17 moving up. And that's, in fact, his third T-17. He's quite keen on those. Trying to get the MG42 lined up by the cemetery wall. In fact, retreating right there. Pack moving in. The other one's still there. And in fact, yeah, he's got 2 now, so a rather small armored car platoon. Pack clogging up so he can sort of sneak in. There we go. Nice hit. T-17 almost down. Main gun destroyed, but not destroyed armored car. That is very important to note. Could of course also mine this area, and he's in fact floating a ton of munitions again. That's the thing by using the T-17 again. You're not spending awful lot of munitions upgrading it, which means you can use your munitions on something else. In this case, I mean, he could use a lot of mines, he could use strafing runs, artillery, a lot of things in fact, and again he wouldn't have to worry about having to upgrade his armored cars. And he's already gone arm on those, so no worries about that. Rather than they're pushing up, and there's currently only one squad of Volksgunners really holding things up, although Grenadiers, Pioneers, and there's still a Schwimmwagen, so quickly the cemetery position held by the glorious men of the Panzer Lehr are being reinforced. And the Panzer Lehr Division, of course, being a sort of elite unit composed out of different instruction units, the best instructors and best sort of trainers and all that, with some of the best equipment in the entire Wehrmacht. Another armored car though rushes in, position here, quickly gets overwhelmed. In fact, the riflemen were able to catch the pack. See Schwimmwagen running away, German units running away, trying to sort of save the pack. That's not really happening. MG42 setting up, rather than getting suppressed. Full retreat right there. This is quickly turning ugly. But that was not the only sort of Lehr unit. Before the Panzer Lehr Division, there were several Lehr regiments. They were usually, I think, also considered sort of more special units. There was, for example, the infantry Lehr regiment, artillery Lehr regiment. There was even a Brandenburger Lehr unit. So rather some fun things there. But there we go. T-17 moving in. And oh goodness gracious, there's a mine more. And again, he gets pulled into it, and a pack gets him. And again, also why you sometimes like another pack, because again, you can usually then sort of have a backup, and in case cover the other one. Defensive depth, in particular with packs, I find is incredibly important. It really can make a huge difference in what your opponent does. But we are seeing one Volksguard squad infiltrating behind. Inspired assault again up, trying to do its best damage. Now we go full retreat, some going down, though in this case not really doing as much as I'd hoped. But again, I'd rather like to sort of try and find out Inspired Assault's full effects, and again that rather requires using it a bloody lot. And hitting a mine with it is a bad thing. Also would have gotten a medic bunker up, but sadly some things rather forced me to quickly react. And instead I'm in fact moving on to a Panzer command, figuring, well, I might as well get some Panzers before it gets clever. And in fact he's getting a weapon support center, but again, all the troops he just wounded, he'll be reinforcing first, so there probably will be a bit of a delay before he gets that damn sniper. Though quickly pushing on, not losing time, and he's definitely not losing much time either, which is good. Again, you don't want to be too long time again, thus giving your opponent lots of time to prepare. And also laying down a mine here, figuring, why not? In particular, for some reason I'm thinking because of a sniper. I'm sort of trying to develop some theory on snipers, how to mine for them, because again, there must be somewhere, and again I'm figuring, well, probably try to sort of place them not where infantry will advance, but sort of where a sniper might try to line up a shot against you. And again, I figure this might be there, but of course someone might also spread through there. So again, just some theory work by me. Rather than moving out, Volksgunn's getting retreated, going for the cutoff point. He managed to miss the mine. That was spectacular. Still, Panzer Command is up. Panzer Kampfwagen on the way. T-17 rushing into the pack. 38 again. This one's certainly living up to its purpose. Doesn't quite get that T-17 though. And what is he getting now? There we go. He is getting the sniper. Engineers hiding there, perhaps as a reserve. Grenadiers moving in from one side. Volksgunners from another. First sharpshooter is klar. And a grenade against the rifle. Oh, they could be running into the mine. Engineers move in, and there we go. Mine goes off. Excellent, excellent stuff. Riflemen are wounded, and we are seeing a full retreat as the pincers move in. Going for some points. Rifleman hiding up here, could be setting up for an assault through the center. And we are seeing a sniper moving southwards. MG getting outflanked. That's less fortunate. Panzer Kampfwagen 4 ready. I was sort of setting up initially for a movement up there, but instead he outflanks my MG, moves up there, so instead I am quickly moving the Panzer 4 down here to deal with any sort of troubles right there. At the same time we are seeing a sniper moving up here, entering actually moving him so far away from the main force. He actually takes a bit of damage, gets one. Pack gets cleared up. Panzer 4 though moving, only getting one kill. Pack gone. Panzer IV just charges in. I'm basically betting on him not having sticky bombs. Sometimes you just have to make that bet. Well, of course, preferably you shouldn't. Engineers still firing away, and they are rather outgunned. The Panzer IV being much too of a beast for it, in particular on fire. In particular, looks rather scary, I suppose, for any American caught in front of it. Rather than here getting caught and inspired assault, simply just gunning them down. And there we go, retreat. Panzer IV moves up a bit. Then again, no, I'm actually moving in down here to try and catch that sniper, so at least I could sort of spot him by accident and run him over. Not really the most grandiose or innovative idea, but I figure at that stage, why not? Sticky bombs on the way for his GIs, his general infantry. Returning to ImperialDane. Kampfkraft sensor up. Mines going off. In fact, here, so again, nice mining from my opponent. In fact, he's laying down an awful lot of mines right here. Perhaps due to the Panzer's arrival, he's trying to sort of protect the roads a bit more, make it more difficult for me to advance against him. Another sniper there. In fact, he's keeping the other one down there. This is definitely a bit peculiar. Getting an Ostwind, partly in fact due to the snipers, but also because I realised due to the snipers, I'm probably going to have to sort of get some more armor, because again, snipers can't deal with that. I had to sort of predict that mine, because again, this is a very commonly mined spot. So I figured, why not? Engineers very close to going down. Panzer IV misses. Americans pushing up there again. Sniper in wait, in ambush.
The enemy advances.
Probably getting some veterans 1. There we go. In fact, veterans 1 for the armor, and looks like he's laying down some mines right there. Again, sort of trying to protect his movements. And there we go. On the retreat, of course, I hit the mine. Brilliant, Dane. You are a certified genius, my dear. Looks like he's setting up for an assault there. He's in fact again sort of trying to split my attention again. That's something very important for Americans. I mean, again, you can't usually keep track of things, and again, some Americans do like to sort of, you know, split things up, making it very difficult for the Wehrmacht player to sort of keep track of everything, and that's actually one of the more important things as a Wehrmacht, then sort of try and keep track of everything, and try and ensure you don't sort of get caught off guard one spot and then lose a unit to a grenade, artillery, strafing run, or anything. Rather than here getting blasted by the Ostwind, takes a sticky bomb though and damaged engine. At least veterans 1 provides protection. T-17 moves in, trying to secure the points up here, and the Ostwind slowly gets 7 kills. That's actually quite nice. Rather than getting suppressed, the Panzer IV moves in. Grenadier getting sniped, and the Volkskonzern are going to come under attack. No, not before they render that point neutral.
Heavy recon here.
So repairing that Ostwind.
We are ready to close with the
Bunker going up. Finally, that's probably going to be a repair bunker. So ensure again I don't have to manage repairing my Panzers again. That's one of the reasons why I actually get a repair bunker. Partly because, of course, then you have to reinforce the pioneers, but also because you need to actually sort of, in terms of what you have to manage, is free up mental space so they can further focus on, you know, combat units. That is the nice thing about it. Sniper wounds up, and I figure, well, why not try and move in the Ostwind? Hope he gets a bit cocky and I get lucky, and that rhymes. And there we go. I got lucky. The Ostwind nailed it. Panzer IV moves in, tries to get some engineers, but comes under fire from the anti-tank gun. That's less good. Runs into that T-17, which stuns it with a white phosphorus round. It was used by the Americans, sometimes in fact to stun tank crews, I believe. Because again, if you're in a tank and suddenly everything gets hot and smoky, you're rather worried something might be wrong. Misses the T-17 though. Mine goes off somewhere. Oh, that's the Ostwind hitting hitting a mine. Trying to clear up the anti-tank gun. That's allowing my Panzer IV to sort of move in a bit more freely. At the same time, I'm trying to rush in my Ostwind from another angle again to sort of deal with things. Sniper opens up though. Things are getting rather dicey, but there we go. Anti-tank gun decrewed. T-17 finds itself in front of the Panzer IV riflemen rushing in. Propaganda war sends those riflemen going away. I don't want them recruiting that anti-tank gun. The Ostwind moves in, quickly gets repaired. Repair bunker almost done. And the Panzer IV gets stunned. Less great. The troops are getting reinforced, ready to move out again. In fact, floating a bit of resources. Less good. And sticky bomb. In fact, I might be going for a Panther at this stage because I actually noted him and going armor. He went to actually try and take that victory point with an armored car, which rather in my case led me to believe he might be going for a Pershing, and in that case I want a Panther to at least sort of have a chance. There we go, pushing up with infantry. Ostman moving in to flank. Damaged engine though, rather limiting its mobility. And there we go, anti-tank gun decrewed. Panzer IV trying to get away as well. Rifle moving in, getting hammered by the might of the 37mm flak on it, but getting stunned though. Thus allowing, of course, the rifle to move in again. That's why some people again do like to use the T-17 to basically stun the opponent's armor, and of course do other nasty things. So of course he's quickly recruiting the anti-tank gun. The Ostwind fires away, trying to perhaps get that crew. And there we go. In fact, it decrews it, gets stunned though. Might get the rifleman. In fact, looks very close. No, he gets away. But at the same time, a Calliope rolls in. Rifleman making a minor penetration there. Mine's going down. And Calliope on the Ostwind, sorting that out. Tragically, Volkswagen advancing in. Trying to get the sniper. Mine goes off. Pin troops. And the T-17 actually gets 2 kills with 1 hit. At the rear armor hit on the Panzer IV. Panzer IV though quickly turns the turret to face the interloper.
Americans are seizing territory from us.
And there we go, makes it away. And again, the repair bunker, plus of course the Pioneers, but again the repair bunker ensures I don't have to completely task someone to fixing that. Troops reinforcing, got a few Grenadier squads, besides my Volksgrenadiers, giving me a 5 infantry squad, which in some sense will give me an advantage over InRussianoobpwnsyou. So again, rather vital. MG42 sitting up here trying to stop the rifleman, but again he's holding the cut-off point, but I've also rendered this point neutral. Might want to turn that Panzer IV round. And there we go. Panzerkampfwagen 5 moving in, the Panzer.
We are losing ground.
BAR dropped behind, sadly not picked up by me, and of course an anti-tank gun. But at least I did not lose the Panzer IV. Grenadiers and Volksgrenadiers moving in. Riflemen are forced away. And of course this will alert him to the fact that I have a Panther, but yeah, that's also what I wanted to do partly, I suppose. But generally just kill some opponents. Rifleman moves up, Panther moves in as well. Engineers suffering a bit. 10 kills on the Panzer IV. Another move towards here. Some Volkswagens catching some riflemen with 3 BARs. Calliope barrage trying to, of course, hit the Panzer, but also the church embedded between the gravestones. Doesn't do so much this time. Engineers spotted and, well, killed. Anti-tank gun being moved in. Did I ever say where they were? Well, let's say 3rd Infantry Division, just in case. I didn't. Mine's going down then again, trying to move in here to sort of harass that point a bit. Panzer's being a bit careful. And again, repair pioneers on the spot again, thus ensuring I don't have to worry about that so much. Troops reinforcing. Point being secured soon. And Panther's pulling back a bit. I don't want it to sort of get hit by the Calliope. And of course pointing them in the right direction. Making a northern push with some Volkswagens and a Pioneer to deal with any mines. And another Panzer IV on the way. Bit of quiet as I imagine our American friend is lining up for another assault. Getting more anti-tank guns. Of course I'm pretty close to getting our King Tiger. Of course I could also get a Firestorm if I suddenly realized I could take advantage of something and hammer someone with that. In particular, the anti-tank guns could be a nice tempting target. Rather than again running into the Panther this time around. A bit of veterancy would be nice. Rather than retreating. Volksguards moving in, they're coming under fire. No Panzer support. Calliope barrage again going in against the cemetery and the MG there. Grenadiers also taking some nasty hits. And the Volksgrenadiers tragically retreat. They needed some armor support, which I failed to provide. And was actually very close to getting to the munitions point right there, but Rifleman and a T-17 rather put a stop to those adventures. In fact, he's actually gotten another T-17, I think. That's a bit interesting. And Pioneer Squad went down. Sniper and the other armored car got it. Veteran D2 on the way for the armor to basically give them some MGs to will basically help a bit against the infantry. At least that is what I figure. So there we go. Panther and Panzer IV move, and I actually get the Firestorm moving in. This is a bit of a huge gamble for me, but again I figure if I can pull it off, well, I can do some all right damage. Panther quickly pulls away with the damage. I don't want to risk this, since this is going to be something that requires mobility. And there we go. Firestorm also hoping to perhaps catch the sniper on the retreat. Again, due to the fact I know he's there, so he's going to have to retreat through the Firestorm. Sadly, he retreats a bit too fast. Anti-tank gun, though, gets hit and might even get wrecked. There we go by the Firestorm. Panzer IV can cover this area, while the other one covers the slower area, functioning basically as a very interesting sort of bunker. Rather than suffering beneath that. Troops moving out, and of course the Panzer IV can provide protection against the T-17, which is not having much luck. Let us return to in Russia. Going for that cutoff point again, less than 100 points. Panther pulling back for repairs, but again Veteran G2. Suppose I could pull that anti-tank gun up here to the front to help. Rifleman moving in. Coming under fire. T-17 also moving in. Rifleman suffering a bit to that MG mounted on the top, and they were actually sort of partly meant to deal with aircraft. I suppose they could also deal with infantry. Grenadiers almost down. Will they make it? No. Yes, they will. The Rifleman getting completely engrossed in that Panzer IV. Dying to the high explosive shells, but also the machine gun fire. More infantry rushing in. I need to support this. In fact, keep this point secure so I can finish this faster. Bit of rockets somewhere. I'm not entirely sure. Clearing out the MG, in fact, but there's two Panzers, so that should be all right. Troops getting sniped. Sniper retreating. Less than 50 points. And the Panzer Lehr seems to be holding.
We are losing a munitions sector.
And there we go. So who are you? Me curious, because I definitely know this is not some novice.
Unit down.
57mm at your service.
And hitting a mine, prompting the Panzer IV to return.
We're down to 25 points.
And apparently he deleted his main account. Doesn't really change the fact he's a smurf. Well, another T-17 up in flames. Lost to the might of the Panzerkampfwagen IV. GG from him. GG and well played. But there you go. Game over. Rather interesting fight, certainly. A bit rare they actually get to see the 4 engineers start nowadays. And of course the question was, or becomes, what perhaps was his trouble. I think partly he was a bit too keen on the T-17s. I think, a shift towards Germans might have aided him a bit more. I mean, keeping some T-17s to support them, great, but I mean, without it, otherwise the T-17s sort of don't quite become what they can be. And the Calliope, again, I think he should have gone for a Pershing at the very least. His Calliope basically only managed to really kill my MG-42, and that was it. So a bit of a waste of manpower there. I mean, he certainly did some good things, trying to hit several flanks, mining aggressively, but again, he couldn't, at the same time, he couldn't quite sort of successfully pull it off. Doctrinally, I suppose I did alright, although, of course, the inspired assault in this case didn't quite work out as well. I could perhaps have gone for Blitzkrieg instead. Might have worked better, might not. Those are of course the things, but certainly I think they're going for the Panzer command. Worked out for me nicely with my Panthers, although the Ostwind probably disagrees. So there you go. Do hope you enjoyed this game. If you did, why not subscribe, tell your friends, and if you didn't, well, why not send a replay of your own. This is ImperialDane saying cheers.